I'm I'm in a daze. So I didn't sleep a lot last night. Had a little pain in my leg, not in the tumor itself, just the leg. Not quite sure why. Um, anyway, it wasn't that bad, so didn't bother taking anything for it. But woke up a bunch of times throughout the night, and I know that I'm not having a good night when um, I have like a bunch of weird, really intense dreams, and it's just like it seems to fill my entire night. So anyway, eventually, like in the middle of the night, I woke up, like pain got a little worse, and I just couldn't really get any good rest because of the dreams and everything. So I just ended up taking a pain pill, hoping it would help. Ironically enough, didn't help whatsoever with the pain. Pain wasn't that bad, but whatever, it did help me um, fall back asleep. But because of one of the dreams that I had, it reminded me of this friend that I used to have. And a long time ago, like 8 years ago, maybe something like that, he told me about something he did a couple years prior to that, something illegal. And, you know, I didn't really know how to react. I knew like I probably should have reported him, said something, but it's like he was my friend, and there was a lot of reasons why, you know, I I chose not to. One of them was because I was scared. I didn't know what would happen. So anyway, all that to say, that person was in my dream, and even though we haven't really been friends, uh, well, definitely not close friends since he told me what he did. And, we barely had any contact over the last few years. And anyway, I don't want to go into too much detail because, first of all, it's not my place to share this. It was, his fuck up. I just was aware of it, didn't say anything, regret not saying anything. And, I had to live with that guilt for a long time. And it's weird because it's not like, if I did something bad, something illegal, and I felt guilty this entire time, well then once you admit to it, then all this weight is lifted from your shoulders. It's just like it's not really my thing. It's not like I didn't do anything. All I did was, okay, I found out about it and I didn't say anything. And once I didn't say anything for a period of time, it's like, well, I don't know. Like, does me not saying anything make me an accessory after the fact? I don't know. So it's just the more time went by, the more I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make sense for me to say anything. Even though, like, I regretted not saying anything when I found out, but it's like he was my friend and everything, and I don't know. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. Point is, I didn't have a good night's sleep and ended up thinking about that for multiple hours. Eventually got to the point where I'm like, all right, this is probably one of the contributing factors that led to me having cancer and still having it now because, of the guilt and the shame associated with that. Even though it's nothing that I did, I still, at some point found out and never said anything about it. And yeah, okay, there's reasons and excuses and bullshit, but it's like at the end of the day, deep down, I know I should have said something. I know I should have reported him when I found out, and I didn't. And more time went by, the riskier it got for me to say something and everything. So I just ended up saying nothing. But it's like deep down, there was always kind of that guilt and that shame of knowing that I should have done something and I didn't. So thought a lot about that yesterday, and given everything I've been through, it's just like at this point, it's like I don't give a fuck anymore. Like even if somehow because I knew and I didn't say anything, it implicates me, like who cares? I'll deal with the consequences. Like I don't care anymore. Like I just can't keep going knowing this and saying nothing. So anyway, message the guy, just telling him like, hey, it's like I should have said something in the beginning. I never did. I regret doing that. That was a mistake on my part. I have to live with that. You have to live with what you did. And also, the knowledge that telling me has put me in this situation and has caused all this guilt and shame and everything. And, you know, ended up going online anonymously reporting what he did. Um, just because, like, if it was just me, I would have been like, all right, screw it, let's go to the police station, just explain everything. And, if there's repercussions for me, whatever, I'll deal with it. Unfortunately, because, everything that I do impacts my wife and everything, we're doing for immigration, trying to be together and everything, like, I don't want it to impact that. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I should have said something. I waited until now to do it. That was wrong. But, you know, that shouldn't impact my wife. It wouldn't be fair to her. So anyway, did that anonymously, let him know like, hey, I did report what you did. I don't know what's gonna happen next. All I know is what you did was a bad thing. You put me in an awkward situation by telling me, and I felt like I couldn't say anything at the time, and since then I've regretted it. I should have said something. And I know he's told other people, and it's like you put other people in that situation. What you did had a very negative impact on not necessarily a lot of people, but at least a few people, and that's shitty. Like you should, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how anonymous tips work. I don't know how they investigate that or anything. Plus, at the end of the day, it's like I have no proof. All I have is what he told me he did. So it's like, you know, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I was just honest. I'm like, hey, I reported it. Um, I don't know what will happen, but you know, own up to it. Be a man. You know, do what you gotta do. Do the right thing. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Not really my problem. After I sent him the messages, and I know it was like red. It was marked as red, so he read it. I just unfriended him, blocked him. I just want him out of my life. I want that to be over with. I want to like this to be done. Now I know there's a slight chance that because I knew when I said nothing for a long time, uh, that makes me an accessory after the fact. I don't know if it does. The odds of it actually having an impact on my life are relatively slim, so I'm not that worried. But even if it comes to that, you know, I'll deal with the consequences, whatever. Like I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's just, and after everything that happened, uh, obviously I had to tell my wife, had to explain the entire situation and everything, and pretty much it's what I've been thinking about since middle of the night last night, to the point where it's just like I've been so distracted with all this bullshit that ended up not eating at all today without really realizing it. Then I'm like, oh, I have to go buy a couple of groceries, so let me go to the grocery store. And even though it's not that cold outside, it's super windy. So it's just like ended up like freezing my entire face off, my hands. Like I've been back in the apartment for maybe like 15 minutes, and like I can still kind of feel it. Like it's still not fully warmed up. Plus, because so anyway, yes, I was like fighting the wind the entire way there. And then while at the grocery store, because of everything that happened last night and today and everything, and it's all I've been thinking about, and I didn't eat, ended up being like lightheaded at the grocery store. Luckily, didn't pass out and everything was good. But I was kind of like in a daze the entire walk home. Plus, on the walk home, the wind was like at my back and like pushing at my side. So I was basically like in a daze, zigzagging my way home while carrying groceries, with obviously, everything I've been thinking about since last night on my mind. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. And that's the thing. It's like, I used to to lie and hide stuff out of shame and guilt and embarrassment and shit like that. But it just like at some point I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to live that life. So I just started telling the truth about everything, except this one thing, because it's like, well, it's not really something I did. Like, yes, I'm aware of it, but it's not like me. So it's like, it always felt like kind of like weird. Plus, it's like, what was my responsibility? Because it's like, yeah, we used to be friends and not anymore. Like, what I found out changed our relationship and everything. But it's like, it wasn't really my thing. It's more like, oh, I'm aware of someone else's thing. And it's like, I hope he does the right thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, is it really my responsibility to do something? And anyway, yeah, it's been a weird night, weird start of the day. And because, like I was saying, because it's not my thing, really, it feels weird. Like, if you do something bad, keep it hidden. There's like a lot of shame and guilt and everything that comes with that. And then you finally reveal it. And then it's like, okay, I told the truth. And this weight is lifted off your shoulders. In this case, even though it's like, yeah, okay, I regret not saying anything when I first found out and waiting this long. But there wasn't that sense of relief when I did. It's just like, I did the right thing. I'm glad I did the right thing. I don't regret doing that. But it changes absolutely nothing. So, yeah. Sorry for being enigmatic about this. I just can't go into details, first of all, because, it's not really my place to do that since it wasn't something that I personally did. Plus, given the fact that technically I may be an accessory after the fact, don't really know how that works. Probably best for me as well and my wife that I don't go into details. But yeah, I'm definitely glad I did the right thing eventually. I do regret not doing it immediately. It's just I don't know. I was in a difficult situation. It felt like no matter what I did, it's like, well, either I'm betraying, a friend, or it's like, I'm keeping what he did a secret. Either way, it's like there's no easy solution. So I don't know. I guess I took the coward's way out, said nothing for a long time, and now here we are. So anyway, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. That was my day. So my plan for the rest of the day is hopefully stop thinking about this, even though like it's done. There's nothing to think about anymore. It's still kind of on my mind, and hopefully recover enough from the walk in the cold and everything that I can, you know, make something to eat and not pass out. That would be good. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan for the day. So this was a weird video, but it's all part of the journey. So thank you for watching, and I'll something future.